Oh, yes. Ding, ding. Back for round 3, you guys.
Let's freaking go, baby.
We have so much shit to cover, man.
Dude, okay, so we always talk about how it's only going to be an hour and hour to hour 15. This one might be an hour and a half, guys. So just stick with us.
Buckle up.
Stick with us tonight.
You gotta buckle up. There's so much to talk about, man. So much has happened since we have gotten a chance to go live and talk to y'all last time, including the beautiful fact that the best promotion in wrestling is now on my head.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Hey, it is what it is, man. So, like Adam was saying, there's so much to cover this week. Dude, we kind of just got to go like right in.
Okay,
we can't really wait.
Before you go right in, let's shout out One Call real quick.
Yeah.
Shout out One Call Technology, who's our sponsor. We're a telecommunications company. If you guys want to save money on phone bills, if you need phone service, internet service, whatever, give us a shout. You'll talk to Steven, 615-656-1343. Big shout out to our company for sponsoring not only us, but the entire Lounge Room Network. So, okay, we're going to dive in. And we're going to dive in straight to, this was a shocker. So it was an upgrade or an insert into our bullet points tonight. If anybody listens to us, sometimes we don't always follow bullet points. And that is the WWE releases that happened today. So, okay. I'm going to go on a goddamn rant here for just a second. First of all, whoever Santana Garrett is, whatever. Right? Whatever. Buddy Murphy, we were expecting it. In a way. Ruby Riot's kind of a shocker to me. Lana, not so much. Me and Steven have talked about this. Lana's probably heading to AEW to be with Miro.
Just a matter of time.
Now, I want to say something before I get to the other two and I kind of go on my rant. The women's tag team division is shit now. Think about it. Lana's gone. She was with Naomi. Gone. That tag team's gone. Right? Ruby Riott was with Liv Morgan. Riot Squad. Gone. Shayna and Nia, which we will touch on, Steven's favorite female wrestler. We will touch on that later, but it kind of seems like when we get to the Raw segment, it's going separate. So, what? Now, NXT, I know, has a shit ton of tag teams. All right? Now, I'm done with those 4. Get over it. Somebody freaking tell me why the hell Braun Strowman and Aleister Black is freaking released. First of all, Aleister Black, they made a big push for him, right, Steven, on Smackdown with the Big E feud.
We literally talked about that 2 weeks ago where I thought, well, one, we were super excited to see what the hell was going to happen. We were pumped for SmackDown the next week. And, I mean, I honestly think, and y'all drop it in the comments if you listened last time too, I feel like I completely called the fact that I thought Aleister Black was going to get a big enough push for a world title. Obviously, I look freaking stupid.
He is going to get a new push for a world title. It's going to be in a different goddamn promotion. It's going to be on AEW or New Japan or Impact or somewhere.
Oh, dude, I have to tell you what I read about that. Can I interject real quick?
Yes.
Can I tell you, and dude, so we were talking about Aleister Black. We're going to get to the big fish here in a minute, okay? But I was reading this, and someone posted this in one of our chats, and it was like, holy shit, like blew my mind, is Aleister Black to AEW, where he will become the head of the Dark Order.
I like it.
Blew my mind. I was like, that fits
blowing.
So well. Holy shit. Why didn't I think of that?
Hold on a second. I just got to throw Brandon from the Brew City Lounges comment up. He says, bring back Goldberg.
Bring him back.
Bring him back. Screw it.
What is he, 60?
Yeah, 50-something. Hell, he can still get in there. He's in good shape. Okay, so back to my rant. Braun Strowman. You have got to be shitting me, right? So I don't know what else to say. I am so freaking pissed off right now that I don't even know if he's going to wrestle, Steven. He might go back to bodybuilding. And I read a comment earlier before we got on tonight. While we were at work, we talked about inserting this in here. So I read something, and he came out and said, I don't know when this was. I don't know if it was recent or not, but he came out and said, if Vince ever decides that my time is to go and I'm not needed anymore, I am not going to wrestle anywhere else. Now, whether
probably didn't think he'd ever get released.
Yeah, well, that's true. Now, whether that comment holds up or not, I don't know. So you lose Braun Strowman, who is he only won the title, one time? I get it.
Former heavyweight champ, though.
Right.
Recently, last 2 years?
Okay. He was in the main event 3 weeks ago, however freaking long ago it was when Backlash was. You take away him, you take away everybody that got released has been on TV. Besides, I don't know about Santana Garrett.
I think we've openly said we don't watch a lot of NXT outside of Bayley.
Yeah.
But I think she may have been big on there. I don't know. That's the only thing. She's the only one that was that's eye-opening.
Yeah.
I don't know who the hell that is.
So now you have Braun Strowman gone. Now you're going to have to pull people. You're going to have to replace him because the shows, let's just be honest, are repetitive. And we'll touch on that too. But my thing is Braun Strowman is a main event guy. He is a main event wrestler. Obviously, he was a main event wrestler 3 damn weeks ago. And I also read that their contracts were renegotiated and everybody was good. So what the hell's up with that? I'm going to have to do some more digging into that for next week, I guess. But my whole point is that man, he's misused. He should always be a heel. He should never be a babyface. He should have never switched. Being a heel for him was what he should have done. He's the monster among men. You can't be a babyface and be the monster among men.
No, you can't. You can't. It didn't work. They didn't put it on him when he was the hottest he was.
Yeah.
But we talked about it last time too, man. We completely talked about the fact that Vince didn't trust him. Yeah. Vince didn't trust him with the title. He took it off of him, and he wasn't getting it back. He was not going to get it back.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Here's a good comment here from Just in Time. Easiest thing would be to end the brand split so they don't have to immediately purge NXT. You're exactly freaking right, dude. Here's my thing. They're going to have to move people up, and they're going to have to pull them from NXT. Now, who that is, I really – there's a couple that I think that could move up. Karrion Kross is in this big fatal 5-way, I guess. You could move him, have him lose a title, move up. I would absolutely love Adam Cole to move up. It's probably not going to happen. No. I think he loves it in NXT, and that's kind of his, in essence, baby, right? But
yeah, he's openly said he's not going to leave.
Mm-hmm. But I think you could move him up. I think you could move Pete Dunne up. Finn Balor could come back.
So yes, the world. Yes, I'm sorry. The world there you go. She's decided to make an appearance.
Hi, Emmy.
Can you say hi? No. Okay.
She said no.
Bye. It's bedtime.
But Justin is right on that. They don't have to purge NXT immediately. I think. I am utterly shell-shocked at the fact that they got rid of those people.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, we were sitting at the office. We were sitting at the office when the news broke, and it was there's no way. There's no way. There's absolutely no way that they're releasing these people. Headlined by Braun. You're just you've got to be kidding me that they're going to release Braun Strowman.
I know I ranted about Braun, but I also want to say that I really liked Aleister Black. And I still do. I think he's going to be successful wherever he goes. But why have him come out and kind of have that feud with Big E for 1 week and then he's gone?
Oh, let's not even forget that, man. Yeah, he came out and did that. But he also had a storyline. Like he tweeted out, he had just gotten started with this dark father gimmick, right?
Yeah.
And they had these little vignettes and promos, and he was building.
Yeah.
Why the hell do any of that if your plan was to release them and cut it short? Josh was talking with us earlier, and he at our office, and he said he was like, maybe it didn't get over. Dude, I know personally as a wrestling fan, I was sitting there going, okay, I can't wait to watch what's he going to do next week.
Yeah.
To see what's going to happen. It's new. It's fresh, which is the biggest complaint you guys hear us talk about is it's repetitive. And now you go and you do this, man. Now you go and you do this.
You can't keep the repetitiveness going either. Let's you got anything to add to WWE releases? What happened? I mean, I'm utterly shocked about 2. 3, because Ruby Riott wasn't that I didn't expect that.
Well, but my thing with Ruby Riott is you have now diminished not only the women's tag division, but you have diminished the women's division in general. She's a hard worker. She's a solid worker. She's very talented. She never got the push. Yep. I mean, and I know, and here's the thing. Like, I know people repeatedly will talk about everyone's linked to AEW.
Yeah.
Oh, Braun's going to AEW. Oh, Alistair's going to AEW because AEW is the second largest promotion.
I don't know.
AEW may not want them. They're still Ring of Honor and Impact and New Japan.
I don't know if AEW is bigger than New Japan. Think about that.
Over here, probably. I mean, over here it probably is. It's going to grow bigger because of the relationship that they have.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it was shocking because normally when you get these releases, they're expected. Like, we expected Miro to get released, right? We expected that.
Yep.
You didn't expect Braun. Like, that's the big one. You did not expect Braun Strowman to get released.
Yeah.
I mean, and piggyback it with the other ones. I mean, they're all, I feel, as WWE always says, good luck in their future endeavors. Everyone always jokes about future endeavors. But, dude, the vast majority of them, wherever they end up, I think they're going to do great. I mean, you look at the talent that has left and ended up in other places. Heck, we'll get on it, but Lio Rush looks fantastic in New Japan now.
Yep. Who's to say, Stephen, might not be more coming. You don't know. We don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know.
So, I mean, it's true. You don't know what is going to happen. Yeah. You don't know if Vince is feeling like he's gonna have to cut more.
Yeah. So, real quick, we appreciate you guys if you're watching live. Awesome. We appreciate it. Throw some comments in. We've already got some, which, again, we really appreciate that. If you're listening, if you didn't catch this live and you want to listen, go check out Apple, Spotify, iHeart, wherever you guys can get podcasts. We're on there. You can rewatch this on YouTube, obviously, if you want to do that. We appreciate you guys, and follow us on Twitter. Me at AdamRamer11, Steven at StevenBurton86, and our Twitter page is T-Buckle Time. So before we get on, Justin threw in another comment here. There's literally 2 women's teams left, Natty and Tamina and Mandy and Dana. I think it's time to put an end to the women's tag titles on all shows.
I mean, I can say this, Justin. They're not going to do that yet. No. They're not. I mean, the damn titles premiered just a few years ago. Yeah. Vince isn't going to say he was wrong that quickly.
Yeah. No, but when Vince decides to bury something, he's going to bury it.
That's true. That's true. He buried the women's title for several years, for a long stretch, because he couldn't find anybody.
Brandon's throwing in comments right now. Bring back Sting. Bring back the NWO and Kevin Nash.
Well, one of those 3
we're going to talk about. We are going to talk about one in here in just a minute. And speaking of that, let's get off WWE because my beer's going down like water, and I don't need that to happen the rest of the night. We are going to something. To go? Yeah, well, I'll kind of start it for a second. So me and Steven decided to pony up and get the Double or Nothing AEW pay-per-view on Sunday. and we watched it on Bleacher Report Live. Shout out to them. It's freaking easy to get on there and get that done. And me and Steven were sitting there. Steven came over. We watched it. And 4.5 hours later, the pay-per-view was over. So, which I think we talked, and I think this is kind of like their WrestleMania. Mind you, I think AEW, I think we said they only do 4 or 5 pay-per-views a year.
Yeah, there's not very many.
Steven wants to start off because he's the AEW guy. I will say real quick before we did this, they got my attention. They got my attention on Sunday. So go ahead, buddy. Go ahead and get our AEW rant and let's segment going.
It's not a rant. It's not a rant, but I said last week that I felt very strongly that AEW was the best promotion right now. And I feel like, Double or Nothing did nothing to disprove that. From the first match to the last match.
Let me say
they were
why.
All quality.
Let me say why I think you think that's true and why I think it's true.
Well, you're gonna talk about me being a WCW guy.
No, it's not. I'm not. It's fresh. It's fresh.
It is.
And the storylines, you don't see all the big people every week.
They don't. They don't have the main wrestlers wrestle every week. Jericho doesn't wrestle every week.
Kenny Omega doesn't wrestle every week. Hangman Adam Page doesn't wrestle. Darby Allin doesn't wrestle every week. It's just fresh. It's entertaining. And
can we say, too, they don't start their shows with a 20-minute promo with someone sitting in the ring.
Yep.
We counted on the pay-per-view. There was 2 vignettes and 1 promo.
I don't even know if there was a promo. Was there?
I mean, no, you're probably right. There was a vignette for the Stampede, for Stadium Stampede, and vignette for Darby, and that was it. Mm-hmm. That was it. So it was like match.
Yes.
I mean, and it started.
As a wrestling fan, that's what you want to see.
Y'all heard us complain last week about.
You want us to see fucking wrestling.
That's we talked about last week. About the fact that Raw had, in a 3-hour show, Raw had 4 matches.
Yes.
And now you get a 4-hour pay-per-view.
Yep.
And I mean, there was probably 8 matches.
Yeah.
Very little breaks between them.
There's 9 because I have them wrote down.
I mean, it was. I mean, we won't go match by match because that would take too much time. But
I was wanting to do it because some of them we don't have to talk about long.
That's perfect. Well, let's start with Hangman.
Oh Jesus, he is by far hashtag cowboy shit.
Hashtag cowboy shit. Yes, I mean
first of all, he carried Brian Cage.
Brian Cage looked like a gorilla in the ring. Okay, and he botched several times, and Hangman carried the match. And it was such a good. I mean, we thought it was a 30-minute match. It ended up. We found out 12 minutes.
I think it was like 14 minutes or something like that.
I mean, it was not long, but it was amazing from beginning to end. And here's the cool thing, you guys. For those who don't watch AEW, Hangman's 29. Yep. Like he's fair. We were joking at the office about this. We struggled to find someone on the main event roster for WWE who was under the age of 30. We found 2?
Dominic.
We find 2. Dominic was like the only male. There's a couple females. Sasha's 29. Alexa's 29.
Yeah.
Rhea Ripley's like 24. But he's young. He's so talented. And, dude, his character is so fully fleshed out and so freaking cool when you watch him. He's like he's like a cowboy country version of Stone Cold Steve Austin. I'm just saying.
I'm just going to go on record and say he's probably my favorite wrestler in AEW.
Oh, he's a close second for me.
Yeah, we'll get to
my
yours.
Number 1.
You'll get to yours.
I mean, so we loved that match. That match, I mean, it had the oh shit moments. You're watching, you're like, oh my God, what's happening?
I literally at one point looked over at Steven and said that could have been like a setup for a main event in WWE.
Yeah.
Some of these matches that we're going to talk about could have all been main events on this pay-per-view, on any pay-per-view. Obviously, the main event was Stadium Stampede, which we'll talk about, but it for a reason. Mm-hmm. But some of these matches that we had on this pay-per-view could have easily been all considered main events.
Yeah, I mean, and they were like, I mean, let's just go from that one. I mean, the funniest thing is we worked through them. The worst match, in our opinion, was Cody Rhodes, and it was still good. It was a solid match. I don't blame Rhodes. I blame Ogogo and his tramp stamp.
I forgot about his tramp stamp, dude.
I mean, he's obviously not a wrestler, but I mean, out the gate. Think about this, you guys. Like out the gate was Hangman Page and Brian Cage. And then right after was Jon Moxley.
Eddie Kingston versus the Young Bucks.
For a tag title. And it was they brawled for 15 minutes before the match started. It was amazing.
That was probably one of my favorite matches of the night.
Yeah.
That one. It was my second favorite. The first one is, which me and you both know we'll talk about. But it was back and forth, and the way Moxley and Kingston are together, they're funny. They make it entertaining. I want to talk about this match.
Oh, I know what you want to talk about.
I want to talk about the fact that if anybody watched Double or Nothing that's watching live right now, throw this in the comment if you saw this. The Young Bucks referenced the WWE
throughout.
I know for a fact I can remember off the top of my head 4 times. They did a Hogan reference, they did a Macho Man, they did the Shield.
Don't forget Roman.
And they did Roman, yeah. Which technically that was kind of the Shield too, but because it was going to be the
power bomb. They openly mocked the idea that Moxley was from WWE.
Yeah.
Like that was part of it. But I mean, to watch it, Adam's sitting there, we're watching, Adam's like, holy shit. Dude, are they doing this?
Are they doing
this happening?
Does this happen?
Like, are they openly mocking the WWE characters?
Then I started laughing. I was like, it's so fucking funny, man. It was brilliant.
Let's just say
brilliant.
They're so good as heels.
Yes, they are.
Like they're so cocky, so arrogant.
Are they the best tag team right now?
In AEW or in across all promotions?
Across the promotions that we cover, which would be WWE and AEW.
Title holders, yes, absolutely.
Ooh, I threw you on the spot. You had to think for a second.
Title holders, absolutely. Absolutely, they're the best title holders across all of them. I'm a fan of the Street Profits. I think they're good. I think they're really talented, which FYI kept popping up on my phone. When Montez Ford did his suicide dive and completely missed everybody.
Yeah.
And like you saw him hit the ground. Like, I don't know why. I don't know why that's funny to me. The dude probably got seriously hurt. But like, oh yeah, no, they're the best. And they've been at it for, what did we say, 15 years?
15 or 16 years now, yeah. And they're young.
They're the best.
I mean, Matt Jackson's like 31 and Nick's like 34 or something. I mean, so they're still, they got 10 years of wrestling left if you think about it.
Let's not forget, too, that with them, that with AEW, the tag division's pretty deep, too. Mm-hmm. You know?
I don't like some of them, but.
No, but I mean, you've got the Varsity Blondes.
You got Private Party. You got the Acclaimed. You got technically.
Oh, I hate the Acclaim. Oh my god.
Yeah, they're worthless. You got Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page.
Yeah, I mean SCU's gone, but
yeah.
I mean, there's for those of you who don't watch AEW, jump on and watch it. You'll know who the heck we're talking about. But I mean, dude, it was a great second match. I mean, literally, like the match, like me and Adam were like, man, I'm a little tired.
Yeah,
you know,
I know.
I'm a little tired after this.
The third and fourth matches were kind of just, I mean, that was the Cody Rhodes and Tramp Stamp, and then the Battle Royale. Now, the Battle Royale was okay. It was just okay for me. I think Steven thought the same until the end, and I'll let Steven talk about the end because that's his boy.
Well, it's not my boy. But I like him. I'm blowing myself up. I'm going to talk for a second. Okay. Yeah, you're tiny in the corner. Go to the corner, Adam. So we agreed that the Battle Royale, it's a weird premise. It's really similar. For those who don't watch AEW, it's really similar to the Royal Rumble, but they bring them out in chunks. So four people sets at specific times. And it was my issue with it as we watched it was that I didn't know who was in and who was out. You know, you had Christian Cage rolling under and he was outside the ring for a while. You know, you had Hobbs and he was out the ring for a while, and you didn't really know who was in the match.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of Matt Hardy, and I was really concerned he was going to win. But dude, the ending for me saved it because of the fact that of who they gave it to. They gave it to Jungle Boy.
Yeah.
Jungle Boy is a homegrown talent. He has been there from the beginning. He's like 23, and they put him over Christian Cage.
Yep.
And not only did they allow that to happen, and the crowd went unglued when it happened, was they had Christian come back in and give him a tremendous rub with him, making the title movement, saying, go get it. Like, they set him up for success. And that's something that WWE doesn't generally do when it comes to setting up their future stars. Yeah. They would have, let's be honest, man. WWE would have had Christian Cage win. Yeah. They would have. And it would have been the same old shit going on that we always see. Do I think Jungle Boy is going to beat Kenny Omega? Probably not. I mean, I would love it, but probably not.
Probably not.
But I mean, the ending for me saved it. The wild card was really cool. The Joker coming out.
It wasn't necessarily just the ending for me. It was after the match was over, what happened when Christian walked up to Jungle Boy and literally said, in all honesty, he said, "You're the fucking man. Go get the belt. Yeah, you deserve it." And then got out of the ring. That's what Christian is in AEW to do. Speaking of comments, Andy Gilbert said, "I love Jungle Boy winning." I did too, man. I totally agree. That was a great. I agree with it. Out of everybody that was left kind of in the end, 100%. I just didn't want Matt Hardy to win.
No, I didn't like the idea of Matt Hardy winning it, and that got me really worried when I thought that he was going to win it. But Jungle Boy went in, the crowd going crazy. You got Luchasaurus coming out afterwards. Like, I loved that. Yeah, it saved the match for me. I was really excited with it. It's the first time that I've watched the Casino Battle Royal. And so it was an interesting premise. It was kind of funny. I was super pumped for the Joker. It ended up being Leo Rush. And he ended up getting tossed. Like, that kind of surprised me that he did. But then also, I think we did a little digging. He's not signed with AEW. He's signed with New Japan, but they have the deal where they're able to cross over a little bit and kind of cross promote each other. So, I mean, I loved it. I loved it. Then we roll into the next one. Which I want to say something about this. Okay.
What do you want to say?
The next match obviously was the women's title match. It's Britt Baker.
The next match was your boy Miro.
Miro squashed him.
Yeah.
I love Miro, but we'll move on because I want to talk about Britt Baker. Yeah. So obviously, like Adam interrupted me. I don't interrupt his boom, but I was getting ready to go DMD. But so she
who is, by the way,
Adam Cole. Yeah, we
baby.
Yeah, she's with Adam Cole. So I think everyone knew that was going to happen. That she was going to take the title. Yeah, it's just time. She's the face of the women's division. She's one of the best female wrestlers in the world at this point. She's a heel, but she's so freaking over that you can't not cheer for her. Right?
I gave that match a B+.
I mean, the kickouts. There was like 8 different kickouts at the end, and you're like, oh my God, what's going to happen?
Nuts. We were going ape shit crazy, dude.
Yeah.
We just looked at each other like, oh my God, there's another kickout. I gave it a B+. And the only reason I gave it a B+ and not an A was because they got tired. And you could visibly see you could visibly see they were getting tired. Doesn't take away from what they did. It just they were visibly tired.
So I got to say this. So I was looking at this before we came on, right? And Bubba Ray Dudley, Bully Ray, he's got his Busted Open podcast, and he was talking about this, and he was like, he was ranting on WWE. So WWE, to kind of lessen the idea of Britt Baker as a star, re-released the video of her being jobbed out to Nia Jax when she was with WWE. They released that video today, and he was like, and Bully Ray was like, yeah, good job, yeah, okay. The girl's one of the best female wrestlers. She's in AEW. She's completely and utterly dominant. She's so over, and you're going to try to squash her with Nia Jax.
Get out of here.
With a video of Nia Jax. Get out of here with that mess. So, I mean, dude, I loved it. What does she say? She says the DMD era has officially begun. She's going to hold the title for a while.
She's going to hold it for a while. Like I made a prediction last week on why Rhea Ripley will hold it for a while.
Mm-hmm. I mean, she's the face. She's the face. Like, and it's hilarious because she's totally a heel, completely a heel.
Yeah,
But
I agree. I love her. I think I echo everything you say. I think that she's the face, obviously, of the women's division. Because let's be honest, the women's division in that is not real strong. It's not as strong.
It's deep.
It's deep,
but it's top heavy. It's not like WWE is top heavy with a couple of them, but it's pretty deep. I mean, I could see them. I'll tell you, jumping back to what we were talking about, I could completely see them picking up Ruby Riott and plugging her in there.
Yeah,
she'd do well.
Yeah,
you know. I mean, I thought it was awesome. I thought it was a great match. The issue, like you said, was that it went a little long, and you could visibly see them getting a little tired.
Yeah,
you know.
Do you want to? Well, go ahead.
I was going to say, can we just make one little note too? Full capacity crowd, which was insane to listen to.
Yeah, and there wasn't. It wasn't like it was 60,000 in there.
No,
there was like
14.
It was like 15,000, and it sounded like there was 50,000.
It was amazing, amazing.
You want to touch on the? You want to touch on Darby at all?
Not Darby, but Sting looked good.
For 62 years old.
Darby gets his ass for 25 minutes like he normally does, and then he wins. Mm-hmm. Sting took a body bump on the ramp to start the match, and then he got a suicide dive off the poker chips. The dude's in his 60s.
It was a good match, though. It was a good match.
It was good. It was a good match. I think the highlight of the match for me outside the Sting stuff was them chucking Darby into the front row. That was hilarious.
I think he chucked into his brother or something.
He did. Well, that was perfectly timed. I mean, come on. You don't want to hit some random kid, right?
Right. I want to talk about which was my favorite match, and I think it was the match of the night, which was Omega and Pac and Steven's favorite, Mr. Freshly Squeezed Orange Cassidy.
For those who don't know, we're throwing the Orange Cassidy thumbs up.
So, first, Kenny Omega has 4 titles.
Okay. I've got a rant though. I got to ask you, and if you know this, please, God, drop it in the comments. TNA and Impact are the same promotion. Why does he have a title for both?
Yeah, somebody throw that in if you're watching live.
Justin, if you're still on here, I know you know.
Let's just say I want Steven to talk about this, and I'm just going to say it's the kick heard around the world.
Oh, my God, you guys. So, dude, guys.
We watched it like 5 times.
So, the match itself was amazing. I mean, everyone at this point knows. I mean, Orange Cassidy's probably my favorite wrestler at this point. He's overtaken Miro. He's up there. I mean, he's overtaken Hangman Page. He's overtaken KO. I mean, he's amazing. But there was a spot in this match that blew our minds. And if you don't know it, you need to go on YouTube after this and you look it up. It's Kenny Omega kick Pac. Okay. And they're going back and forth in the ring. Pac's hitting him. Omega's hitting him. They go back and forth for just a second or two. And then Pac looks at him. He drops his hands to the side. And he screams, "It's like, come on. Is that all you got?" And I kid you not. I mean, we're talking from the center of the ring. Omega kicked him in the chest into the turnbuckle. It was like he was exploded. Mm-hmm. Me and Adam were sitting on the couch. You got to think, guys. This is like 3 hours deep into the pay-per-view. And we popped up and was like, holy God. Did that just happen? No, we showed it to Josh.
No. We did not say, holy God. We looked at each other and said, holy shit. He just got blasted. He just got blasted into the
He looked like he got shot in the chest by a shotgun. I mean, he flew back. Thank you. See, I knew Justin would know. Justin said Moose randomly brought back the TNA title and Impact decided to recognize it. Thank you, Justin. I knew you would know, my man. But so the kick was amazing.
Shout out to Moose too, because that dude's a beast. But anyway,
Moose is frightening. Yeah. Moose is a very large human, you know. But it was, dude, it was so good. Like we joke, like I'm a big Orange Cassidy guy. Orange Cassidy got his ass kicked throughout the match. Like he'd get his ass kicked and then he'd come right in and he'd do something. I mean,
At one
Pac was
point,
great.
he got super kicked like 3 times off the ropes and then he'd come out of nowhere with his what is this, Steven?
The orange punch, baby. The orange punch would come out. And can we just say, so the only thing that kept this match not being my favorite, Hangman Page was my favorite one.
Yeah.
Was the simple fact that I didn't like the ending.
You didn't like the ending. You don't like the ending because one, you thought you wanted Orange to win, and two,
dude, that place would have come
a
apart, man. I don't care what you say. That place would have come apart had Orange Cassidy won.
Yeah, I think
they would have lost their minds.
You say that, but you hate roll-ups just like I do, and it ended on a freaking roll-up.
It was weird, man. I didn't like the manager. I didn't like Don coming down and pulling him out, but it made sense.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's part of the storyline. I love the fact that the fans were chanting "F you, Don." F you, Don. Yeah. You know about that, and I loved the fact that he turned around and Orange was just kind of staring at him, like he was just kind of sitting there. Like he
wanted to beat the shit out of him.
And then you were like, "It's gonna happen." Then Aubrey comes running in to do the 3 count, and you're like, "It's gonna happen. This place is gonna come apart." And then it was just kind of like he rolled him back, and it was it.
Yeah.
I mean, he rolled him back, and that was it. I mean, it was kind of cool with him, you know, being heelish and tossing the different titles in and wanting to, you know, and bashing Pac with like 4 title belts.
Yeah.
Like, because he just came draped in gold. But it was, my opinion, between you and me, Adam, like no one's watching this. It's just us talking, is that it should have been a main event.
Yeah.
Should have been the main event.
Yeah, it should have been.
Stadium Stampede was great, but that kind of match, we talked about it, that kind of match was built for an empty stadium.
Yeah.
You had full capacity crowd. It wasn't built. It's kind of like the empty arena match from The Rock and Mankind from the 90s.
Yeah.
It's not made to be when you have all these fans in the stands. And it was a good match. It was fun. It was a fun match to watch, but it shouldn't have been the main event.
Yeah, I agree. The Stadium Stampede was the main event for a reason. Obviously, they played that Inner Circle versus Pinnacle up so much that it kind of had to be. And I liked it. I think we both liked it. Mm-hmm. I didn't. The ending was really weird to me.
Well, I told you what I thought, why that ended that way. That's another example of what AEW does. That's Chris Jericho securing his spot, knowing he's the best in the world, knowing he's hottest thing going, and giving a huge rub to Sammy Guevara.
Yeah.
Hey, you go, you get the pin. I'm not even in the ring. I'm not even in Daly's place.
Right.
You go get the pin, he gets the rub. It's a huge thing for him. Jericho doesn't need it. But it's another example of that's why AEW, in my opinion, is better. They lift the young talent instead of kind of squashing it down. I mean, we talked about the releases earlier. They just look at the people they released. Like those are people who you're supposed to prop up.
Mm-hmm. I want you to say, because you were shocked you weren't shocked. You said you were shocked at who won.
Yeah.
And the Inner Circle ended up winning, and Steven had a point. He said, they've been together for, 18, 19 months, whatever it is.
Basically since AEW set up shop.
Started, yeah.
They've gone from heel to babyface.
Mm-hmm. I
thought it had run its course. I really did.
Yeah.
And the question I have now that's kind of looming is, what the hell happens? So, like, if Pinnacle had won, Inner Circle was gone. Mm-hmm. Inner Circle won. Pinnacle's not gone.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
I mean, I like everybody in that core group of both the Inner Circle and the Pinnacle are so good. Like, I honestly think that MJF, especially on the mic, is so good.
Oh, how old is he? We looked it up.
So he's like 24. Yeah, he's so young.
He is the future of AEW.
Yeah.
Essentially. I mean,
Uh-oh.
Oh,
right,
no.
We got
we have okay. We're gonna detour for a second here, you guys.
We're not
We're
gonna
gonna
detour.
detour.
We were done with AEW.
We're done with AEW. AEW's the best. Suck it, WWE. Okay, so we have a special guest, you guys. Really quickly, you guys know our sponsor, of course, is One Call Technology. This is a huge wrestling fan. This is also the president of our company. It is Josh Burton, man.
What's up, dude?
What's going on, guys?
Yes. Oh, wait, I clicked the wrong one. I said Adam Rant.
Yeah, I'm not ranting.
There it is. There it is. Okay. So
I already had it on there, and you're clicking it off, dumbass.
I know. So we're going to let him talk because we already had our rant about the WWE releases. So for a little bit of background, Josh recently kind of got back into wrestling. He's got 3 boys who love watching it, and he watches it with them. And to say that we were shocked with Braun Strowman would be an understatement compared to how Josh reacted in the office today and how his son reacted to Braun Strowman.
Let him talk about how his son reacted.
Yes. So tell the story. Tell the story because we know he's watching too.
Yeah. So obviously Steven came across the office and was talking to us about it, and I said, "Man, I got to call my son Brody and talk to him about this because man, he loves Braun Strowman. I mean, dude, loves him." So I call him. I get him on the phone. Like, hey, Brody, man, dude, you never believe what just happened. He's like, who'd they cut? And of course, his favorite guy is Randy Orton. So he's like, no, they didn't cut Randy Orton, did they? I said, no, they didn't do Randy Orton. I said, but I was like, but dude, they did Braun Strowman. He was like, dude, what?
Why?
Why did they do Braun?
He's gonna get these hands.
So man, he was really. I mean, obviously, you know, he was pretty upset about it, but it was a shock. I mean, like you guys were saying earlier, you know, he was just in a main event 3 weeks ago. I thought it was a pretty good fight. Overall, it wasn't bad. And they've definitely been pushing him pretty hard the last probably, I don't know, well, guys, probably about a month and a half or 2 months now, probably.
Mm-hmm. I did 2 months, yeah.
It's been about 2 months, and it's kind of a shock. Something else has got to be going on. I don't know the ins and outs of what's behind the scenes going on there at WWE, but just happening the way it did after just what's been going on it's kind of just a surprise. I mean, I don't think something else has got to be going on. I don't know what that is though.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I mean, we ranted earlier. I mean, literally, Adam got blown up, and he got to rant all by himself. I mean, it's you don't know, like you said, you don't know what the behind the scenes are, why it feels so weird, you know. And I mean, complete side note, shit is weird anyway right now. I mean, everyone's hunting, trying to figure out why Keith Lee's off the air. We've talked about that. It seems like now it's a medical thing that he's not able to get cleared. We know that Braun Strowman got hurt at Backlash in some way, shape, or form. I mean, it's one of those things, do you think that Vince is like, I'm done with this. You're hurt too much. You know, you're hurt too much and you can't hold the title well. I mean, it's frustrating.
He has. I mean, you know, he did kind of disappear for a little bit there too, but right before he got back on the scene here. Obviously, it started at first with him and Shane O'Mac. You know, him and the whole Shane O'Mac thing. But before that, I mean, it was kind of before I really started getting back into it again. But from what I understand, he was gone for a while before that too.
Yeah, he was.
I mean, he's up in
I mean, obviously he does, you know, get more injured than other people. But still, though, dude, I mean, I don't know. Everybody likes to watch him wrestle. Everybody likes watching him come out there and do the Strowman Express and run around that daggone ring and lay people out and stuff. So,
the only thing I had about Braun Strowman was his finisher is a piece of shit. It's so stupid.
Dude, Adam hates his finisher.
I hate his finisher.
I think it should have been. You know what I think it should have been? When he first broke off from, we talked about this, when he broke off from the Wyatt family and he was just smashing people like James Ellsworth every week. He did a reverse choke slam where he'd pick them up by the back of their neck and he'd throw them down face first.
Yeah.
Dude, it was so awesome. Like,
I'd take that instead of a running freaking. I'd take that instead of a running freaking power slam.
Who is he?
That's like 1988 Hulk Hogan and Ultimate Warrior doing a gorilla press and then doing a frog splash off the apron.
Hey, Adam, you hear that? That's the British Bulldog asking for his finisher back from 1985.
Exactly. Jesus Christ. So
it was bad.
it
It
is
was
a pretty
bad. So
weak
you
finisher, I would
joined
say
Josh
that.
just in time for us to finally get over to WWE, which is primary. Josh doesn't really watch AEW. We're going to kind of get him on that. But you joined us just in time for us to talk about SmackDown and talk about Raw. Obviously, Adam just popped it up, so we're going to talk about SmackDown. So it showed promise. It showed.
Wait. Hold on. No. First of all, we talked about this, and I said, "Hey, we all said SmackDown was pretty good Friday." Then I got on Bleacher Report, and because I forgot what the hell happened because I was
Start looking at the matches. That's a rookie mistake, man.
I start looking at the matches, and I looked, and I'm like, "Really? Was it good?
Was it? That's why there's the question marks.
I mean,
was it good?
Well, I mean, they really started off good with trying to bring the Usos back.
I agree with that.
Back into it. So that they starting it off with that, I think, kind of was a little deceiving with the whole show because it started off strong with the Usos and everything, and then it got kind of weak in the middle. I mean, geez, I know you don't want to get started on your old boy, but that was the weakest fight, and I mean, it was terrible.
He's going to get into that. Let's just get into that real quick.
I mean, geez, I mean, we're talking about we know he's your favorite dude, buddy. But old Apollo Crews and his Aziz and the daggum Nigerian nail flying out of nowhere, and then you think Kevin Owens is dead. I mean, geez, Pete, you would have thought he took a real nail to the neck. It was pretty rough.
Stop, Steven.
Okay.
Right. It's your turn.
We're going. So everyone knows my feelings. One about how they've misused Kevin Owens. I love Kevin Owens. We all know that Vince doesn't like fat people. So listen and pull up to the screen. Pull up to the screen with me, okay? He doesn't like fat people. We know he doesn't. That's why Keith Lee's off the air too. This is the dumbest finisher in the history of mankind. It is a thumb to the neck, and he barely hit him. The Nigerian nail sucks. Okay, it was 3 minutes? Was it even 3 minutes?
Was it even 3 minutes?
I don't know. I mean, Josh, you have a great point. He looked like he was dying.
He did.
Okay.
He did.
I mean, afterwards they have him in the back there with, I think it was with Adam Pearce back there.
Yeah.
They're back there, and I mean, and he's like, "Oh, give me Apollo Crews." It's like, "Oh, give me Apollo Crews." I'm like, dude. I mean, it was pretty weak. I mean, it really was.
It was.
But I'm over the whole. I'm like you though, Steven. I'm so over Apollo Crews. It's unbelievable.
Steven's over horrible. Apollo Crews because now he's Nigerian and he's from Stone Mountain, Georgia.
He is. He's from Stone Mountain, Georgia.
Now, I think his relatives are from Nigeria, maybe, but he's not.
No,
Steven.
It's the Nigerian nail. It's incredibly frustrating.
The Nigerian nail is a 15-year ripoff of Umaga. That's all it is. But Umaga's was better. Plus, I like.
Yeah, I mean, at least Umaga looks scary. Yeah. I mean, Umaga looks scary. This did not.
Yeah, I don't. I don't know about that. The whole, and then the Mysterios and the Ziggler Rude thing. First of all, I like Dominic and I like Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio's been a long-lasting, obviously, wrestler. He's been wrestling since he's like 16 years old. Exactly. Read that comment, Steven.
It's just the Samoan spike Umaga used to do, which a lot of people call the worst finishing move in history in wrestling. It was. And oh my God, I don't know. If I get started, I'm not going to stop.
But anyway, to go back, the Rude and Ziggler, Josh, do you like Rude and Ziggler? He's looking at his kids right now.
Yeah. No, I like Ziggler. I don't really care for Rude too much. I mean, but they're okay.
He's glorious.
He's glorious, man.
Ziggler's moves kind of all suck. I mean, there's nothing special about any of them, you know. I mean, the zigzags is not a really good finisher. But you know, they're okay. I think that it's a cool concept they have right now with the Mysterios. I don't think Dominic is. I mean, I think he tries to do a lot of stuff like Ray does, but he's like 50 million feet taller, and it's a lot harder for him to do all these fancy high jumping moves off the ropes and everything.
Here's my thing. Here's my thing with that. There's two tag teams. Well, there's one right now on that It's the Street Profits.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They're better than both of them. Now, the Usos come back, and I think that is a feud that could happen and would be great for WWE to have the Usos fighting which is happening.
Yeah, it is.
It's happening. Now. It's not for a title, which sucks because it should be. But it goes back to the tag.
Let's be honest. I have less of a problem with Dominic and Ray holding the titles than I do with AJ Styles and Tall Lumberjack.
Oh, we'll get to that. The guy that can't wrestle.
Well, they know he can't. They know he can't.
He literally did the Iron Claw. That's from 1970. It's from 1973.
Wasn't the finisher though. He threw him in the corner with it. It was bad. And like you compare him with AJ, and AJ can rub off on him, but not like that.
AJ can make anybody in the ring look good, except for him. That dude's 7'3", 400 and something pounds.
Golly. God, I'm still stuck on the dang Nigerian now. I need a minute.
What else happened in SmackDown? Oh, Bianca and Bayley. I thought that was good.
Hey. You want me to say it?
Go ahead and say it, because I'm going to rip your damn ass right now.
You want me to say it?
Yeah, go ahead.
I think Bianca Belair is overrated.
You can get the hell. You're done. I'm getting you out of our show. Listen, Josh is finishing this with me. Somebody, please, in their comments, put up there and disagree with Steven.
They love me. They're not going to do it.
She is not overrated.
No.
Maybe she got pushed too quick for you. Maybe that's what it is.
It could be. It could be that. Her gimmick reminds me a lot of Bayley's. You know, the gee whiz. You know, I was a wrestling fan my entire life, and now look where I'm at. And what did that do for Bayley? Yeah, Bayley had to turn heel to get momentum.
Yeah, you know what it did? It gave Bayley. It gave Bayley the right to hold the title for a year.
Dude, well, think about this too, though. Man. This is my issue too. She has gotten, and rightfully so, WWE has done this correctly. She has gotten a rub from going to be the two biggest female wrestlers in the promotion. Sasha put her over at WrestleMania in the main event, and Bayley's going to do the same at Hell in a Cell. Like she's getting pushed, and I don't. Maybe it is. Maybe it's the fact that I love Sasha Banks that I have an issue with it. But I mean, she's talented. I'll tell you this. I don't think she's. Maybe a better way to put it is I don't see her as like this cornerstone figure like a Charlotte Flair, Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch, because we all know Becky's coming back soon too. Which brand, who knows? But she'll hold the title within like the first month.
I can already tell you what brand it's going to be.
You're going to say Smackdown because that's where Seth Rollins is.
They're going to do that because they're going to keep them together because they're going to start traveling soon.
Well, that's a good point too. But didn't we just say Seth Rollins should be shifted to Raw?
I did say that.
Don't get
Josh started on
Josh's feelings on Seth Rollins, shall we?
I mean, I didn't really watch much before Seth Rollins is what he is now, but it's. I just don't understand. I don't understand it at all.
He's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs right now.
It's bizarre.
He's legitimately crazy.
It is. It's like, I mean, literally like he's got screws loose up in his head. I mean, I just don't understand the concept behind it because he is a talented wrestler. I mean, obviously he's been in places before at WWE where he is the face of the whole organization.
Oh, no doubt.
The dude is super, super talented, but they're just making it's just really weird. I mean, I don't know how to explain other than that. I mean, I don't even want to watch it when he's on there because I mean, I don't mind making fun of other people. I don't mind, using the gimmick of, you're the best and whatever may be the case of that. But but he's now bringing in all the fans in the crowd, and it's just, I don't know. I don't get it. I just don't. I don't get it. I'm not a Seth Rollins fan because of I've been watching this recently.
Justin throws up a comment. I'm waiting to see Steven just unleash the demon. Wouldn't expect that the Nigerian male would do this.
Oh, Justin, man, I had moved on. Man. This is what happens on Turnbuckle Times. People get us fired up. We try not to get fired up when what we're talking about. It's when comments come in and then fire us up. Okay. I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to go to
Okay.
that dark place.
All right, don't go to the dark Nigerian nail. I want to talk about
Stop
SmackDown.
saying Nigerian now.
I want to talk about something. I want to get both of your opinion because we've talked about this since Josh's first time on the show.
Yeah.
I want to know right now, I'm going to say in 3 months. Well, here's the thing. John Cena supposedly is coming back to fight Roman Reigns at SummerSlam, right?
Heard that.
Which
Definitely seen the rumors.
It's rumors. It's hearsay.
It's rumored.
If that stays true, that means Roman Reigns is keeping the title until SummerSlam, probably.
Yeah.
Who dethrones Roman Reigns? And Josh.
Oh, gosh.
Is there somebody right now that you think could do it?
Man, I don't think there's anybody right now that, to be honest, I don't think there's anybody right now that can do what he does for SmackDown. I mean, he is. I don't know, the whole.
You
thing
don't think
with
Cesaro could have done
Usos-
it? You don't think Cesaro could have done it?
Man, I'm not. I mean, I know you love Cesaro, Adam.
You
I know
love
you
Cesaro.
absolutely love
Dude.
Cesaro, and he is a phenomenal wrestler. He's super strong. I mean, his moves all right. I guess it's pretty cool.
To quote Adam, his finisher is shit.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, it's a spin, and then I don't even know what the actual but
It's the spinneroonie. No, it's not the spinneroonie. It's not the
without the
It's
kid.
spinneroonie.
the big swing, you guys.
It's the big swing. It's funny. It's cool, but it doesn't really do anything. I mean, geez.
Well, his finisher is the neutralizer, isn't it?
Yeah, well,
Yeah, and it's stupid too.
Which is riddles. It's almost like riddles in essence. They're both
Oh,
really
don't worry.
it's
similar.
very similar. Yeah.
He's
But
on
I mean,
the list too.
I mean,
No, he's on the list.
I'm not real sure, man. I mean, I think that
I'm going to tell you one that can do it.
man.
I'm going to tell you one because Steven, me and
Wait,
Steven
wait, wait.
already
I
talked.
mean, to be honest, dude, really be honest, if they could get Seth Rollins in the right character again, he's the type of personality that could do that.
That's true. That's
But
true.
they
It's
just have
not
the
going to
wrong- they
happen.
have the wrong character right now.
It's not going
See,
to
and
happen.
I think the important thing to point out, like when Josh points it out, we've talked about that. And as a newer fan, that's great.
Mhm.
As a fan who's been around a while, been there, done that, have the T-shirt, seen Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns fight till they're blue in the face.
Mhm.
But it's the only one that kind of makes sense. I think that Brock Lesnar's. I think that's a thing. I think that's a possibility.
God, please, no.
Well, you know what I want.
want that to happen. again.
I want Roman Reigns to have to bask in his glory.
I know you
That's
do.
what I want.
That's who I think, though.
But he can't get, from what we're seeing, he can't get cleared medically, man.
I know.
He's not being able. No one knows what it is. I don't know. I'm not going to start rumors on this podcast. Is it COVID? Is it something else? No one knows. But dude, he's not been on TV since February.
Mm-hmm.
He's not been on WWE TV since February. But I want Roman to have to bask in his glory, baby.
Yeah, I that's who I think. Keith Lee.
Oh, I would love it. Josh, have you? Let me ask.
I've not
Have you
really
seen Keith Lee wrestle?
very much because he was on for like a day, like one episode, and then he disappeared. I mean, he was supposed to, because that was the guy that Adam thought was going to win. I mean, we talked about it. He was like, he called me the night of Royal Rumble. I was like, dude, Keith Lee's going to win the Royal Rumble.
He was going to.
He was going to win the Royal Rumble, and then he wasn't even freaking in it, and we're all like, what the heck just happened?
I want to point this out for everyone who listens knows this, but Keith Lee is 6'2", 340 pounds, and the dude does like Hurricane Ranas and suicide dives over the top rope. I mean, I still stand by the fact that I think Triple H, I think he really likes Keith Lee.
Mm-hmm.
I think Keith Lee could use the Finn Balor treatment a little bit and bump himself back down to NXT.
Yeah.
I think he thrived down there. Hunter knows how to work with him. I don't think Vince likes him.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to push him. It's the most annoying thing in the world because he's so freaking good, man.
Thank you,
And
Justin, for agreeing with me. He put a comment said no more Brock Lesnar title reigns for the
Hey,
love of
FYI,
everything.
the rumor is Brock's waiting for live crowds. That's what Heyman said.
Get the hell out of here. So, okay, so let's talk about that for a second. This off tangent again. Brock Lesnar comes back, fights Roman Reigns. Who's Roman Reigns' fucking manager? Paul Heyman.
I already told you what's going to happen.
Oh, they're going
battle
to
for the
fight for
custody
the
of Paul
contract. Fight for the contract of Paul Heyman.
No,
what
it's
would you
custody.
fucking do?
Dude, hey, you can say what you want. Say what you want. They
Put my
literally
rant
did a
back
match
up.
for the custody of Dominic Mysterio one time
They did do that. That was the stupidest
when he was a
thing
kid.
ever. Oh
They
my
can
God.
do one for the custody of Paul Heyman.
That's not
telling
happening.
you. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
God.
Okay. In all honesty, we'll talk about Raw here in a second too. But
I don't want to talk about Raw.
I don't either. But we have to. They need to do. Okay, fans are coming back. What was it, like the 16th, I think, of July, somewhere in there?
Yeah, they're
The
in
SmackDown.
Texas, right? Houston?
And then the paper, and then Hell in a
Money in the
Cell
Bank.
is no Hell in a Cell.
Oh, Hell in the Cell, yeah.
Hell in a Cell's next, right?
Shit's got to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hell in a Cell's the next pay per view. Shit's got to happen.
What shit are you talking about?
They have to do something with storylines, Steven.
They don't have to do anything.
It's so
Well, you're right, they don't
freaking
have to.
stagnant.
It is. It's really bad.
all year. I mean, it literally has been the same storylines. We still have Drew McIntyre and freaking Bobby Lashley in the storyline, and it's been like that seriously all year. I mean, it has been all year long.
Can I just go on record again and say that I think Bobby Lashley is a freak of an athlete, but he is a piss poor wrestler.
Oh, yes.
He's stiff as a 2x4.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't know where he's supposed to be half the time.
No idea.
And he holds the most coveted title in WWE.
Yeah,
I mean, he does have the chicks hanging around, though.
Get the hell out.
I mean,
That's the stupidest shit. We talked about that the other day. Josh looked up. He's like, that's just stupid.
It is.
Stupid.
I mean, it's so stupid. I mean,
how many matches were on Raw?
4. Oh, this time?
I don't know. I didn't count. Yeah, this time.
Justin, I love the comment. We're going to read it because for those who listen later, I'm all in for Finn Balor taking it off of Reigns. Hey, FYI, fun little fact for those who don't know, Finn Balor went over on Roman Reigns to win the first Universal title. So who knows? I love me some Finn Balor. He's also like 45.
And mind you,
Finn Balor's that old.
Dude, Finn Balor's old, man.
Yeah,
he's older than you think. We looked it up.
He's old. Mind you also that Finn Balor never lost that title.
Didn't he get injured?
No, he got
He
hurt.
was the first Universal title holder ever, and he never lost that title.
Okay, we're an hour in, man. We got to hit Raw. We got to do Raw.
Mm-hmm.
So you can tell by our lovely title, it's the same shit, different day.
Hold on.
What?
Josh, read this comment.
Oh, Brody.
This is Josh's son. I like Bobby Lashley's finishing move, the Hurt Lock. Bring him in here so I can smack him. Brody, are you watching this? It's a full Nelson.
It's not even a good.
Now, I will say, if you put that on somebody,
it does hurt. It does
hurt.
It's very uncomfortable. I've done it to the boys before, and it does hurt.
Look at it. Josh
heard that, right?
Josh is admitting live on live air that he hurts his children.
Yep. I put them in the Hurt Lock.
I mean, hey, we all know.
I used to put my mom in the figure 4.
I don't know. We were sitting here up in the room up there the other day, and Tank came up here, our dog, and he was on JD's bed, and I was getting pissed as hell at him. Damn dog just does all sorts of stuff. I mean, he's only like 5 months old, and all of a sudden, Brody, I look at Brody, I was like, "Watch this!" I freaking RKO'd him right on the bed.
Oh my god,
that daggum dog!
Backyard wrestling, baby.
Lordy.
But
hey,
right,
Josh, Nick Gage just called. He wants to fight.
Nick Gage.
He doesn't know who that is. So as you guys can see, who's watching it? Raw. It's the same shit. It's a different day. I don't even want to talk about it, man. I don't.
I do want to talk about it. I want to talk about a couple of things. You
can take it.
There were a couple fights that were halfway decent, like 1 or 2, maybe.
It's the premier wrestling program. It's supposed to be. And the fact that you said there was a couple that were halfway decent.
Drew and Kofi.
That was good.
It saved the show. For me, from going down to like a D to a C was Drew and Kofi. It was 30 minutes. It's back and forth. again, it's Drew and Kofi, and Drew wins, and now he's fighting Lashley.
Absolutely.
Hey, well, let me ask this, Adam. It's a good match. How many times have we seen it?
Well, Drew and Kofi, I don't think it's as much as
Last week.
Oh, yeah, they did fight last week, yeah.
I'm bitter on the whole thing. I don't like the way it starts. I don't like the fact that they feel the need to always start the episode with 15 minutes of someone. And yeah, it was Miz and Morrison. It was funny.
Oh, man. Miz
but why
TV,
do you have
baby.
to start it with someone talking every week? Why?
It starts like that all the time.
It used to be. Okay, let's string it back. Miz opens most of the time now when he's there, right? Then most of the time it's the champion. Before that, it was Triple H and Stephanie with the authority. Then it was always Vince. Like Why do you feel the need to tell me what you're doing? Just start the match, man.
Yep.
Oh, I mean, we were so Josh. I know you listened, but we were so frustrated last week on a 3-hour show. They did 5 matches, 3 of which were female matches, which I don't have a problem with, but I didn't enjoy some of them. Right. AKA Nia Jax, who can we just say really quickly too that I want to marvel at the fact I'm blowing myself up for a second. I want to marvel at the fact that yet another WWE cut has come through and Nia Jax still has a job.
Dude, she's so bad. She's so bad. I'm sorry.
She's bad.
I mean, that may have been the worst fight I've seen in a long time. The worst match ever was the Reginald and Shayna Baszler match. That was, dude.
Oh, we got to flip this, Adam, because you have to do yours, because Adam wants to rant for a second too, because he's very upset with someone who's not been featured on TV. It looks like she might be coming back. I don't think Josh. I don't think you've ever seen her wrestle.
Oh,
please!
What are we talking about today?
Please, for the love of God, WWE, put Alexa Bliss in a goddamn match. Please. First of all, her in-ring talent is great, I think. I think she's great. And she's cute. But the whole Fiend and her, it's weird. I get it. I actually liked it at the beginning. It's getting stagnant now for me. Put her in a damn match. And I think it's going to happen. I think now finally it's going to happen, because I think Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax are separating. And it's going to be Alexa and Shayna now doing some kind of weird playground bullshit. I don't know. But I'm so sick of her not wrestling. Like, do something. And I don't know. Steven talked about it. I don't know if she's hurt or if they just don't have something in for her. But by God, if you have something for Nia Jax, God damn it, you have something for Alexa Bliss. End of rant.
I'm so with it. We pointed this out last time. Alexa Bliss is the first female wrestler to hold both Raw and SmackDown. She went from one to the other. The girl was amazing. And then all of a sudden, I mean, you're right. Like, the gimmick is awesome.
Yes.
But the Fiend's nowhere to be seen. So why is she still 2 scoops of shitty crazy? You know what I mean? Like, I don't get that, but God bless
the whole gimmick
if she wrestles.
Since like November of last year.
Dude, it's been a long time. The most action she's gotten is tackling whoever it was over the barricade that one time. I mean, that shit was funny.
She technically pinned Randy Orton, remember?
Yeah, technically, yeah.
Technically speaking, she pinned Randy Orton.
Yeah,
but she didn't really.
I'm technically a paid podcaster.
That's a good reference.
I mean, she needs to get back in the ring. You said it best, Adam. If you've got something God bless. I'm going to get upset.
Well, the women's division, Sasha's kind of in I guess, playing.
I think she's on a break. You know, she took a mental health. Like, that was I'm not breaking news.
Here you go. Here's a breaking thing. Her last actual match was against Asuka.
Are you serious? Hey, Justin.
When was that?
When was it, man?
It's we don't want. We're just going to sit here on dead air now, waiting on Justin. Justin's our statistician for the night.
No, we coined it. You remember? It's a wrestletician.
Yeah, it's a wrestle.
Justin can be our wrestletician. I mean, if you have something going for Nia Jax, you got to plug it in. I mean, it's the same thing we always talk about, man. It's repeated rematches repeatedly. It's what I say every time,
So
and it's
stagnant.
boring. I'm tired of seeing the same stuff. And don't get me wrong, excited about Nikki Cross. Love Nikki Cross. Nikki Cross is crazy. I'm glad she's getting a push. But if you think she's beating Rhea Ripley, you're out of your damned mind.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. If you think she's beating Charlotte Flair,
you're out of your damn mind.
It's
not going to happen,
though. It's different. I mean, I didn't even know who she was until she showed up last week. But it's some sort of something different to try to get, I guess, some sort of rise out of the fans of watching the show. But but at the same time, it was really the one against Charlotte Flair on Monday night was just utterly stupid. I mean, Josh
has hated the 2-minute matches.
It was I don't mind the 2-minute matches, but when you're sitting outside for 1 minute and 45 seconds of the 2 minutes, and then you come in and act like you won the match, it was retarded. It was dumb.
But I think she did it to mock Charlotte. I think that's why she was mocking the whole situation. January 18th, 2021. So she has been off TV longer. This is Alexa Bliss. Off TV longer than Keith Lee.
Yeah.
And
so that fight, she was still with what she's like, this whole crazy shit's going on with her right now. She's still that still personality, right?
I don't know if that was the case in January. I don't think it was.
By the way, Brody Burton shot that stat out.
Oh, Brody. That's my nephew, you guys. That's my nephew. For those who don't know on this either.
Great Googling fingers by Brody Burton.
Googly goo. How are you? Hey, for those of you who haven't noticed yet either, by queuing in on the last name, Josh is my older brother. If you can't tell by the Burton. And Brody is my nephew. So, Brody just got corrected. Yeah. Justin said it was the 25th of January. Okay. Brody, it's throwdown time, dude. Yeah. Go hit him with the Nigerian nail.
Yeah, we're going to go with Justin on that one.
But here's my question. Here's a little food for thought. Are they buying time in the women's division for Becky Lynch to come back?
Becky Lynch is not coming back until, obviously, fans hit. There's no way.
So what, 3 weeks? 4 weeks? Are they buying time?
January 16th is 3 weeks.
A lot more on
your goddamn math is horrible. July 16th is 3 weeks.
Yeah, and this is 9 inches.
July 16th is
like a month and a half.
Hey, Adam. Yeah. And this is 9 inches.
That's what she said. I do want to touch on one thing there, which is RKO future tag team champions.
RK Bro, baby.
Yeah, RK Bro. Sorry, I said RKO. I meant RK Bro. It's happening. It got real close at the very end this week because I thought Orton was going to do his little signature, and then he was like, but it's going to happen. And
it's going to happen because everybody likes Randy Orton and everybody likes Riddle.
What are your thoughts on Riddle? I know you like him.
My thoughts on Riddle?
Yes.
I like Riddle. I like him as a wrestler. I think he's good. I think that he's very easy to like. I don't agree that he's going to hold a big title. Now, could it be? No, I say that, but if him and Randy Orton together got the tag team, obviously that's a big title.
He's already been U.S. champion, so
I know, and I was shocked when that happened. He didn't beat Bobby Lashley. He beat whoever. I can't remember who was fighting who was in that fight with them.
Damn, I can't remember that either.
I can't remember, but he pinned somebody else in the fight. I mean, but I know I love Riddle. I think he's a phenomenal athlete. I do think that he's good. I just don't think I don't know. I remember back in the day when we watched WWF and like, dude, if you're the Universal or at that time the WWF champion, you were a big freaking dude.
Yeah,
I mean, you were like the big guy, man. You were Hulk Hogan or you were Ultimate Warrior or the Giant or so, I mean, you're a big guy. So Riddle for me would be like a cruiserweight champion or something. That's what I'm envisioning in my mind. So when I start watching it now, and I see like the way the titles are now, it really doesn't matter. You can be the small guy and be the heavyweight champion or the WWE.
For God's sakes, man, Rey Mysterio was a world heavyweight champion.
Exactly. So, I mean, but I do really like Riddle, and I think it's a pretty cool thing. I mean, once again, I think it's something different they're trying to do to see what the feeling from the crowd and from the fans are, to see do they like it, do they not like it. It's something we can continue on with. or is it something that we need to just stop now because it's not a big, it's not a fan favorite?
I like the what's that, Steven? What'd you put up? Oh,
So John Morrison was the third guy as a replacement for Keith Lee. I think that's the match y'all are talking about with Riddle. I think Justin got that one. Justin, you are totally the wrestletician, dude.
yeah, we need him to come on every one of our shows and just be our status, our wrestletician.
Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Central Time. Be here.
What I like about Riddle is that his persona is just like a bro. He's cool.
Yeah.
And then when he gets in the freaking ring, there's like a switch that flips and he's aggressive as shit, which meshes with what Randy Orton does.
Right.
Now, the personalities of Randy Orton and Riddle it couldn't be more polar opposite. But I think it works. I think it's going to work. I think we've talked about this at work before too. They're going to have to make Riddle not be Riddle as much in his persona.
Right.
He's going to have to be a little angrier or, like Orton is. Then again, maybe not. Maybe it just ends up working. Maybe people like it. I don't know if people like it. If you're watching and you want to throw a comment in if you like that idea. But
I think you made a good point today, Steven. I mean, we were talking about this and, you said that like Adam was just saying, it needs to be more of Riddle kind of changing his personality more to like what Randy Orton's is in the ring, not the other way around with Riddle making Randy Orton soft.
Yeah, right.
In essence, Randy not soft, but you know what I mean, like that whole
funny,
laid back. That's not Randy Orton, and it never has been Randy Orton. No. So if they're going to make it work, they're going to have to change Riddle a little bit to make it work if that's what they're looking for.
Right.
Well, and there's a history. If you do think, I mean, I'm on record that I definitely go the way of it's got to be what Josh said. It's got to be making him more serious than Randy Orton, more funny. But there's a WWE. I mean, I was thinking about this as you guys were talking. WWE has a history of this. I mean, Kane and X-Pac, Kane and Team Hell No. You've got these pairs that they're opposites, and it's supposed to be kind of funny that they're opposites, and it works. But in both those scenarios, I don't know. As I say it out loud too, both those scenarios are Kane, who's a WWE Hall of Famer, and both of them were him being funny, him relaxing, but it was good for his character. I could see it transforming into tag titles.
It won't be it's not going to be a sustained tag team for years and years and years. Like
it could be like rated RKO.
Yeah.
How long was that, guys?
I mean, rated RKO, it lasted a little while.
I mean, they won I think they won multiple.
They won titles. They feuded with DX. They had a good run. Team Hell No lasted a long time. Yeah.
It's not. Let's just be honest. It's not going to be like the Young Bucks, or let's go back to the Road Warriors, and it's not going to.
They
be
don't
like
do that anymore.
No, they don't have.
They don't keep teams together that long.
That's one thing that I will say that AEW has over the WWE is the tag team division.
It's much better.
It's much better than what WWE is.
Well, I don't like. I mean, I saw you guys earlier talking about AEW, and like I said, I don't watch as much AEW, but I did watch with you guys the pay-per-view from this past weekend. And I mean, the tag teams are tag teams. Like, I mean, kind of like back a long time ago with WWF, there were people that's what they were. Is they were a tag team. They were in sync with each other. They knew what the other person was doing. I mean, it was you could tell it was good. It was good. Now it's just like taking a superstar and a superstar, shoving them together and saying, hey, let's make this work. It's kind of what it is now.
Yeah, I mean, it is. It really is.
They don't know where they're going. It's kind of wandering in the desert of stupidity.
And that's why the Usos, I think, is good for tag team. Because the Usos are a tag team.
The Usos are a legitimately well-oiled tag team.
Yes.
As opposed to, the Street Profits are really good, too.
No, they're really good.
They're really – here's the question I have for everybody, too, is I'd be curious, how much longer, as good as they are, and this is what we do with tag teams. We can't help it. Montez Ford is the star of the making in that. He's so athletic, and – how much longer until that breaks and he goes into a solo run? Because I could see
Okay.
Vince looking at him going, that's a guy I could make a star out of.
That's true. I agree with that. I think it could happen, but it hasn't happened. The only reason that the Usos were not the Usos was because Jimmy was hurt and he tore every damn thing you could tear in his knee. If that wouldn't have happened, the Usos would be the Usos, and they've been the Usos since day one-ish.
Day one-ish,
That's their slogan.
Yeah. There would have been no main event Jey Uso.
No, and don't get me wrong, I love it for Jay because he did it. He did a great job, and he still does a great job.
It allowed him to grow. It allowed them to grow into their own, and now they've got and that's something that I've said too, is that I feel like when I go on record and I say things like I think AEW is the best promotion in wrestling right now, it's because look at there too. Look at WWE. They struggle. I was listening and we were talking about this last time. WWE struggles to maintain storylines that are outside of the main event. They're not good storylines. Sometimes they're frankly, they're kind of, I want to quote out, they're shit, sometimes. But AEW, look across the board, man. Look at the pay-per-view. Look at the storylines that flowed into there. You had the Inner Circle, yeah. But then you had Kenny Omega and Orange Cassidy and Pac. And you had, Britt Baker doing her thing. It's just like the storylines, Miro and Archer with Jake the Snake. You had really good storylines. And I don't know what is wrong with WWE, but they have to fix it. They have to do something. I think I saw a report.
I don't want to.
The rating is the lowest it's been in years on Raw.
I don't want people to think that we don't like WWE because I 100% love WWE. And I have been, and we said this in the beginning. I've had pictures of me in a high chair, and it's not that. It's just stagnant for me. It's just same. Like our title says right here, same shit, different day. It should say different week.
Adam's just an American. He fights for the rights of every man.
Jesus, copyright Hulk Hogan.
I said it. You didn't have to say his name. I didn't play anything.
Anyway, I don't know what else I want to talk about except for the fact that Raw was hell. What was the freaking main event? I don't even remember.
Kofi and McIntyre.
Oh, that was the main event. Yeah.
Hey, I will say, let's point out though, there was as much as that fight was as I sit here and I'm like, same shit, different day. Yeah. Can we point out the Claymore to end was just ridiculous?
Oh, that was so fucking awesome.
I'm pretty sure Kofi got concussed.
That was one thing we didn't talk about on Raw was it Raw that that Sheamus got his nose broke?
No, that was Smack. Was that Raw?
That's Raw, dude.
Is it Raw? Yeah, it is Raw. Ricochet.
That's an important thing.
Ricochet and Humberto Carrillo, Josh's favorite wrestler.
I mean, Humberto was in some deep shit when he got backstage.
Oh man. Me and you were watching that together, Steve. Remember? And you looked at it.
We were like, dude, his nose is flat. His nose is flat. And you could see Sheamus's face in slow motion with the reaction of, oh my God, dude, he just punched me in the face. Yeah. But dude, it's an important note because they've come out and they came out with the Miz and they said he didn't fully tear his ACL. So timeline's shorter. But the worry now is if Sheamus legitimately really broke his nose badly and he requires surgery, he's going to vacate the U.S. title. So it's a big deal. Humberto put him out. That's what you get when you pin Humberto 6 weeks in a row.
That's a storyline. Sheamus and Humberto Carrillo.
Yeah, really. How long is that going on now? I mean, seriously.
I'd rather Ricochet and Carrillo fight than Sheamus. You do like Ricochet. I know.
That's Paducah, Kentucky, baby.
I want to point out one thing because we never talk about NXT because none of us really watch it. I should because when people get called up, we're going to be like, who in the shit is that? Now we know some people in NXT.
Baby, I'm gonna go. He's pointing to the hat for those who.
I'm gonna go with one thing that I watched, and I only watched it because it involved Adam Cole.
You point out you watched it 15 minutes before we came on air.
Well, I watched it a long time, but then I got it and I was like, I need to send this to Josh and Steven. Was his dude, don't act like the promo wasn't good.
Oh, Adam Cole's amazing. He's actually, surprisingly enough, pretty young. I thought he was way older than what he is.
What do you say? Was he like 30, 31, something like
He's
that?
31.
Yeah.
I thought he was like 36, 37.
But that was my highlight of NXT, just because. Now,
Adam, are you Adam Cole, baby? You're not Adam Cole.
baby. Every time I come in the office, I want his music to hit so I can just go boom.
Hey, what you got to do is you got to peace out from NXT the way he said it. What did he say about every time the bell rings?
He said every time the bell. He said what it was. It was, you know what makes me special?
Every time,
every time the freaking bell rings. There you go. That's the mic drop.
That's it. That's it.
That's it.
Dude, do we got anything else, man? We've rambled for an hour and 25 minutes.
Yeah, we do.
Oh, yeah. Plug the merch, man. Hey. I'm looking at you, Josh. I'm looking at you. You going to buy a T-shirt? Because we're pumping it for everybody. Everyone gets a T-shirt. Everyone needs to buy one. T-shirts, phone cases, hoodies, socks.
I will say, the phone cases
Justin,
are $20
you know you want
$20. You can't find a phone case unless it's a cheap-ass one on Amazon for $20. They're good phone cases, too, by the way.
The shirt's about $20 too or something like that.
I'll give you a
Depends
discount,
on the
$23.99, whatever it says on the fucking website.
But go
There's
seriously, guys.
Hoodies.
It's fun stuff for us.
Yeah, it's cool.
Go check it out. Go to the link tree, hit buy merch. Go check it out. And so those who listen to my other podcast too, you guys hear Zach talk about this too. It goes for here too. If you go on there and there's something that you're like, hey, I want you. Can you guys get this? Dude, hit us up in the DMs. Add us on Twitter. You guys know how to get a hold of us. It's always streaming at the bottom of it. You know, it's at Adam Raymer11. It's at Stephen Burton 86. It's, I'm going to throw Josh's out. It's at JD Burton, 618.
Yeah, man.
So, hit us up with it and tell us like, hey, man, I would really like if you did this shirt maybe in this color, or can you do this? And we'll look. It's a fluid thing. We'll look and see if we can add some stuff to it and make some tweaks here and there and get you guys the stuff you like. Definitely go and check it out.
And again, we appreciate everybody. If you watch live, we appreciate that. If you didn't watch live and you're listening to us on Apple or wherever you get your podcast, please subscribe, share it, review it, send it to your mom, send it to your dad. I don't care who you send it to.
Hit 5 stars as hard as Umberto hit Sheamus' face.
Hit 5 stars as hard as Kenny Omega kicked Pac into the ring.
Man. I was trying to find it to show Brody because I was like, man, that was the craziest thing I've ever seen.
All he had to do was yell, "This is Sparta." This is Kenny.
It was fun, Josh, dude.
Thanks guys for having me on.
Thanks for coming on tonight, Stephen.
As always,
we got riled up again. What?
JD poked his head in.
No, JD poked his head in.
That's our other nephew. That's my other nephew, Josh's other son, who doesn't watch wrestling. I see you. Hey, you're live in front of probably about 100 people. You want to say hi?
Hey, what's up?
What's up?
What's up?
Love it. All right.
Okay,
we will see you guys next week, Wednesday, 8 Central, for another rant edition of Turnbuckle Times. We'll see you guys next week.
See you.
What's up?